MMA Boxing Talk here, coming at you with another video. Today I want to talk about UFC 197 taking place March 5th. Now, nothing official has been announced by the UFC, but there's been many reports out saying that UFC 197 is going to be headlined by Rafael dos Anjos, the lightweight champion, against Conor McGregor, the featherweight champion. And the co-main event reportedly is Holm, the bantamweight women's champion, taking on the number 2 contender, Miesha Tate. Now, these are two very huge fights for the UFC. They're both two mainstream fights, with Conor McGregor being very mainstream, and Holm, after beating Ronda Rousey, knocking her out in spectacular fashion, she kind of came into the whole social media spotlight and got a little bit of a name for herself. So, talking about the main event now, this is a crazy fight. It's a really it's a mega fight. It's a super fight. I mean, you got the champion at 155 taking on the champion at 145. There's a lot of interesting facets to this fight because Conor McGregor at 145 is moving up to fight the 155-pound champ and not getting acclimated to the division yet. Not fighting any, even a top 5, top 6, top 7 guy before challenging for the belt. He's just going straight up there for it. Now, if you didn't already know, one thing you should know about Conor McGregor is that he has fought at 155 in the past. Not in the UFC, but in the in Cage Warriors over in the UK. And, they traveled around, but it was more overseas, this Cage Warriors promotion. Now, and Conor McGregor has said that naturally 155 is his natural weight. That's where he likes to fight. And all you have to do is take a look at Conor McGregor weighing in at the 145-pound limit. I mean, he doesn't look great at weigh-ins. It's not hard to pick up on that. So 155 would probably make the weight cut obviously a lot easier, be a little healthier, just probably feel better all in all. But this is the thing, Rafael dos Anjos, this guy, he's no joke. This guy's for real. He had one of the last 2 years there, he's been one of the best fighters to come up and emerge and be one of the top guys in the sport. Now, his last loss, Rafael dos Anjos, was in 2014 to Khabib Nurmagomedov, and this guy hasn't fought since. So, sure, he's beat the current champ, but who knows if he'll come back and ever be the same. Hopefully we do see that fight in the future. That would be a great fight. But since that last loss Rafael dos Anjos suffered, he's went on to beat Jason High, first guy ever to finish with a TKO, Benson Henderson. Then he dominated Nate Diaz in a 3-round unanimous decision fight. And then after that, he challenged for the title against Anthony Pettis. He beat Anthony Pettis, taking the title from him, and defended it once since then, December 2015, and he defended it for the first time against Donald Cerrone. It was a first-round finish. I mean, Cerrone didn't even have a chance in there. He swarmed him. Once he hit him with the first, solid punch, he just swarmed him, and Cerrone just folded under the pressure, basically. So, Rafael dos Anjos, he's on a tear and a half. He is hot. He's beaten some big names: Benson Henderson, Nate Diaz, Anthony Pettis, and Donald Cerrone. And that was his second time he beaten Donald Cerrone, but just so you know. So that's very interesting. It's a great fight. I'm going to put out a prediction once we get closer to the fight for sure. Now moving on to the co-main event. Holm taking on number 1 contender Miesha Tate. Or number 2 contender, sorry. Now, if you hadn't heard before, after Holm had beaten Ronda Rousey, it was said basically right after that that Ronda Rousey was going to get the rematch with Holly Holm right away, kind of thing, or the next fight Holly Holm had. But time has changed. Ronda Rousey's doing the Hollywood thing, doing movies, going on Saturday Night Live. So she's going to do her thing. And UFC Dana White, president, he gave Holly Holm the clear to go ahead and fight someone else, before she fights Ronda. So she's fighting Miesha Tate. And I believe personally that Miesha Tate might pose different things than maybe Ronda Rousey did, and I think she could give Holly Holm a harder time than Ronda did. Now, if you watch that fight, I mean, Ronda, she didn't really do much against Holm. She was basically running at her. Her striking is very, very basic. It looks good maybe training, but no. You watch it in the fight against a woman, Holly Holm, who's an ex-champion boxer, an ex-champion kickboxer. Her striking level is just leaps and bounds above Ronda Rousey. Now, Miesha Tate, her striking, not that it's out of this world, but she's a much better wrestler. She mixes up her striking with her wrestling much better than Ronda does. Ronda really doesn't strike a whole lot, or couldn't against Holly Holm. So I feel that this fight could be closer. Holly Holm and Miesha Tate, I believe it'll be a closer fight than Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm was. And that's a huge, huge fight. This gets Holly Holm, if she gets the win over Miesha Tate, she'll become, a little more noticeable in the media, more notoriety, I should say. And then it just hypes up that Ronda Rousey Holly Holm fight even more. If Holly Holm, continues to be champ, gets another win under her belt against a top girl, and I know it's really, really interesting. So that is UFC 197 taking place March 5th, supposedly in Vegas. Now it's all speculation at this point, but I do think it'll happen. There's been many, many reports out. Basically, just UFC hasn't confirmed it yet, but it's 2 months away, so they should be doing that soon. That's it for this video. I just wanted to update you on the UFC 197 card, and